So we are implementing Getting into Action and Grow to build your business by using these 15 principles. So these 15 principles, if you've been following me, are develop your core principles, develop your mindset, which will develop your brand, position yourself as an educator and do a weekly workshop, build a product snowball, develop a strategic marketing framework, create a content factory, build a massive network, become a media mogul and concentrate only on one media, get into production mode, build a learning center, create an online community, and raise and build an affiliate fan network, and put systems in place. And you will always be growing your business, regardless of what type of business it is. So today we're going to talk about building a massive network. We have been discussing how to build a massive network, and you can look at the free trainings to see some of the other comments that were made about building your massive network, contacting others, attracting others to be your affiliates, your partners, your collaborators, to get your audience from, and traffic. So let's get started on looking at how to network from a position of strength. So how to network from a position of strength. A lot of you may say, well, I'm just a small goldfish in a big pond, and how am I going to actually attract the type of people that I need who have the audience that I want? Well, you have to have a position of strength. And these sessions start with your mindset. You always have to think about that you are relevant, that you have a weekly workshop that others may be interested in, either watching, participating, being an affiliate of, whatever. You have something, you have an asset that others might be interested in. So you always have to be thinking about yourself as having a position of strength, because you're positioning yourself as an educator. You're not going out and trying to be an affiliate or trying to do product launches once a year, etc. Your business model is that you're going to be an educator, and you'll be doing a weekly workshop that will attract traffic, that will attract affiliates, that will attract partners, that will attract audience. So these sessions end with your mindset. So when you're networking, and in the first episode of Developing Your Network, I discuss the ways that you can grow your audience. And when you're doing these sessions, which should be at least once a day, at least contacting one new affiliate or one new collaborator or one new connection, you have to always remember your mindset. So you're always networking from a position of strength when you realize that, of course, you have something that is an asset and others may be interested in. You are looking for one or two individuals that can connect you and make a difference for your business. So you're looking for people who maybe may know people that you know, that you want to know. You have to have your Lit Dream 100. I think we discussed that in the first episode of networking, of the people that you want to connect with. And regardless of whether or not you connect with them today or you connect with them from a year from now, with different strategies, you have to look for one or two people every day to connect with. So building a massive network means that among this number will be those one or two connections that are quite relevant to what you're doing in your business. But you need connection with the large numbers in order to find them. So you need to build your audience, you need to build the traffic to your weekly workshop, you need to build your subscribers, you need to build everything in order to find the couple of people who may be the ones who will make or break your business. Whether they're going to be collaborators, whether they're going to be partners, whether they're going to send some of their audience to your offers, etc. You're always thinking about your Dream 100 and who they might be. So networking is one step removed from actual traffic. So why pay for traffic when you can network? That's the question. It's important to note that adding a potential game changer partner to your network doesn't mean that your profitability will soon increase, but it will get a bit stronger. Having a partner is one step removed from actual profitability. So you need to be deepening your ties with these individuals consistently and regularly, whether they're partners, whether they're just friends, whether they're casual acquaintance. You always have to be developing your connections. Whether they're partners or affiliate marketers, they will by necessity go where there is the most potential for profit with the least amount of risk and the least amount of work. So they will be attracted, of course, to your weekly workshop where you're making product offers. And of course, they need to know what your product offers are currently as well as future. So when you're connecting with these people, you need to have a schedule that is set fairly rigidly in terms of monthly what you're doing. That means that when you're adding people to your network, you may expect that they may be slow in becoming part of your promotions, or whether they want to promote what your product offers are that month. It will take a while because they have to get to know you. So networking is one step removed from actual traffic, paying for traffic, but it's a nice passive way that you can get traffic if you work it right. So what are your instincts when you're networking? So your instincts, because this process is slow, maybe to try to talk to people to find out why they won't become part of your promotion and then adjust. So you could find out from people why they're not interested. Maybe your Dream 100 isn't the ones that you thought they were. Adjust your connections, etc. Always be chatting with them. It's always good to be prudent and realize who do you want to connect with and whether or not they are good connections and what is your connection defined as good. In most cases, it's the exact opposite path that you will need to take. So when you do things this way, your mindset is to network from a position of weakness. So this is not where you want to be. So you want to network from a position of strength. Problem is not likely to be your product or your offer. The problem is your niche position. So you may be positioning yourself within a niche, not as the educator, not as the person of knowledge. You may be not being confident about your offers so that others see that you're not confident. Or maybe you're in the wrong niche. You never know until you actually go out and talk with people and find out what they think about your business. So your instincts when networking is always to be chatting with people and asking them basic questions about what they think about your offer. Maybe if they have experience as an affiliate, maybe they could give you some tips. But always remember that you are amazing, basically. You are a person who has the you-know-what-sits to go out there and be an educator and do a weekly workshop. You have the you-know-what-sits to go out there and make offers every month or offers every week, whereas very few are doing that. So you are unique. And you have to remember your USP, your unique selling proposition, and remember that when you look out there onto the internet, how many people like you are out there? Are there any at all? Maybe you're the only one doing it, and you are unique, and you have an asset that is unique from others. So, yeah, you have to get feedback when you're networking about what people think about your business, maybe also your offers, etc. But you can get a coach. I think we discussed that one time about how you should have a coach or someone who you can get feedback from on how you're doing, etc. But anyway, so you have to remember your gut feelings, your instincts when networking, that you're out there and what you're doing is saying that you're amazing, you are unique, you're an educator, you're doing a weekly workshop, that other people should be excited about participating in, whether or not they're sending their people to the offer and getting an affiliate commission, whether they're partnering with you, whether you're having them on interviewed about their business, etc. You have to remember you are amazing. So you've got to strengthen your sub-niche position as well. So you will need to strengthen it because you'll need to have something that someone can be a part of. This is yet another reason why you need to establish a weekly training archive of all your workshops as you go along, because it will be something that is an asset, as well as your learning center will be an asset that people can participate in. Your community, it can also be an asset depending on how strong that is. So you should be developing all these items at the same time. It says to the market and the market players and to your network that you're here and that you have something to offer. You have a training archive of workshops. You have products that you make offers on. Whether or not people buy is not relevant. It is because these products can also be put into your learning center, and your learning center becomes an amazing asset that others might be interested in promoting as an affiliate. So you have to have all these items, assets, starting before you start developing these assets even when you are just beginning. It means that you're building an audience and not getting ready to build an audience. So you can't wait until you have an audience of, say, 1,000 subscribers before you start building your learning center. You can't wait until you have 1,000 subscribers before you start set up your community. You can't wait until you have 1,000 subscribers till putting together your training archive that they can go to for free. No, you can't wait for that. You have to start everything at once and at least start building it as you go along, and people will see it grow and they will see it as an asset rather than something that you talk about, rather than something that, okay, I'm going to have a wonderful archive. Prove it. You'll be a market player with an archive, and it works for your network attraction as well. It works to get the right customers, because your audience can come, or your subscribers can come and check out your training archive and find anything that might be of relevant to them. For example, right now I am paying I think $12 a month to look at basically recordings. I think it's at least 30 recordings from a well-known marketer in his business, who also does monthly training. And I can go and I can see the titles of each of the workshops, and I can go and pick the one that's relevant to me at this time. Well, do you have anything like that you can use, and it can be an asset for your business? Then you've got to consider developing it as you go along. And we've discussed before the various types of platforms that you can use for making your learning center or your community. It's time to get started. Okay, now this is a hard one. This is basically establishing a launch calendar and sticking with it. And I know that a lot of people, we talk about putting together a launch planner, launch calendar, and we put a tentative date in for next month, and then all of a sudden things get ahead of us and it's that time and you haven't even planned for that launch. So we have to get going on this. This will be important too. You will want to have something on a regular basis that people can choose to participate with you on. So you need to have a launch calendar made for the year and stick to it, of course. And it should be like available somewhere that either if you want to keep it private, anyone who's interested in being an affiliate can go look at it and see what the topic is each month and think about whether or not they want to promote it to their audience. And, you need a launch calendar for the year. This is in some form of a launch calendar, of course. Don't get hung up on formatting. It needs to be clear what you've got coming up next that people in your network can promote or partner with you on. If you've got people who like to do affiliate promotion, it's no problem to them to decide and make a decision on what they're going to promote depending on their calendar. So you need to stick to your calendar. And if possible, stick with the calendar. Don't change it just because another person is having a launch at the same time that you'd like to promote yourself. You have to remember that your launch calendar is going to be one that has deadlines and you need to stick to. If something doesn't do as well as you'd like, just add another element to it. So if you have a launch and you don't get the kind of either affiliates or promotion that you thought you could get, and think about developing other elements like either time limited or bonus limited or something like that. We've discussed those before, how they can attract people to your business who want to be your affiliates, etc. So just go along, just stick to your launch calendar. Having a launch calendar strengthens your mindset and position. So if you have a launch calendar, which is based on, of course, what you're teaching in your weekly workshop, and you have products that you're making offers on, and so you have a product offer calendar, as well as, of course, you have a weekly workshop calendar, and they coordinate and they're relevant to each other. It should be fairly easy once you get into the routine of getting your products ready for launch. And as we have discussed before, it's not like an affiliate launch with you, because you're doing a product offer for either the month and then changing it next month, or you're doing it weekly, whichever, and it stops and you start something else. So people know what your launch is like and what your habits are like, and they know you're going to stick to it. So it strengthens your mindset of you as well as your position with others if they know that your launch calendar is going to hopefully remain stable, and it'll have deadlines, and they can plan to promote, or they can plan to maybe come on to your workshop if it's relevant to them and you invite them. So you need to have a launch calendar. And of course, you need to develop a content routine, and don't miss it. This is very important. You can strengthen your mindset and your market position by being regular with your content. This is true whether you're doing a blog, a podcast, or a video channel. Decide on a schedule and release your content at the same time each week. Yes, I know that sounds intimidating, but it is not so hard if you decide and don't do too much. If you have something that you can use to write about new members and it's known, it will strengthen your position. If it says that you're developing an audience, if you can send out an information saying that you've got new members, etc. And even if your podcast or blog or video channel isn't significant to potential partners, it will help you to network from a position of strength, because there will be content showing up on a regular basis so they know that you won't be someone that disappears, and that you're basically developing your business and you're eager to have affiliates and a network of people who watch what you do, get on your list, maybe help do an affiliate launch for anything that you're offering. So you need to also have a content routine. So you need a launch calendar, you need a weekly workshop calendar, you need a product offer calendar for production, as well as you need to use content and develop it so that it comes out at a regular time each week. And we've discussed before how you can develop a content factory by using your weekly workshop and using snippets and using posts based on your weekly workshop to make the content. So there should not be any reason that you're working harder. You're just working the same because you're always developing content. So develop a buying relationship with your email subscribers. This may be one of the harder things for some people to do. It goes without saying you're developing a relationship with your email subscribers, and this needs to be a relationship based on trust. You give them resources that they can use to improve or perfect what you're talking about with them. You give them resources, you give them freebies that they can use to maybe do the same thing that you are doing in your weekly workshop. But at the same time, they will compensate you for the privilege of getting this kind of value if you, of course, make an offer. So this is your email subscribers are an asset for you with a network partner that has something that will help your email subscribers. So it will be an asset for you, of course, if you always remember that you have to have a buying relationship with your email subscribers, as well as your network may be interested in promoting an offer to your email subscribers that is relevant, but you have to remember that it has to be relevant because that relationship needs to be rooted in trust. If you develop an email list and you're not making offers to your email list, which isn't likely since you're doing a weekly workshop where you have product offers, and you always mention that to your email subscribers, and they decide, of course, whether or not they're interested in that product offer and coming to the weekly workshop and buying the product offer. But if you're doing that and you're not making any other offers from other partners, you might want to be careful about what partners you allow to send offers to your email subscribers, because there's nothing worse than having someone sending you an email about every single product launch that's out there that isn't even relevant to what you wanted on when you signed up for the email list. And those email subscribers will soon unsubscribe because you've lost their trust. So your email subscribers should always know what kind of email list you have, whether it's just you talking about values and things that they can learn and also making offers, or if you also do affiliate promotions that might be relevant for them. Because you must not violate that trust for the sake of a partner. So I've discussed that already with you, that you cannot just start doing affiliate promotion for your various network that you join up with because they ask you to. You have to remember that your email list is sacred, and the relationship you have with them, of them knowing, liking, and trusting you to give them the value that they need in order to get on and listen and read whatever you might have on your email. You need to be able to have that trust built. So remember to also make sure that you make buying offers. Of course you will, because you have a weekly workshop which has product offers. And always having something in present tense, not just future tense. This is actually quite an important one to me. I know I have been discussing about doing my Worky workshop for the last 3 weeks, and due to illness, etc., I've put it off. We're not perfect. Let's just say humans aren't perfect. So you'll always want to have something that you're doing that you can use for networking purpose. So I need to get my weekly workshop started and do at least a month and show that it's something that will always be available and an asset to my business, so that when you go out there and you network, they know what you are and what you do, and they can check you out because you have a weekly workshop they can watch anytime because they're free. So you can do other things. So you need to obviously put together a content calendar, which has your product launches on it, which has your also your product weekly workshops on it. And you might want to consider doing mini summits on a topic, just to have something that you can use for networking, where you invite others from your Dream 100 to be in your mini summit, or to be on your you can invite them to be on your product launch, maybe invite them for an interview about the topic. You can do roundup blog posts where they also can participate by adding a blog post into this roundup about the topic. You can have a podcast series and invite them to be interviewed on the podcast series on the topic. You always have to have something in present tense that people like affiliates or partners or collaborators can get on and participate in. I think also it's bundles. You can have bundles. You have to plan all this out, of course. And when you have a conversation with your network, whether it's you want to be able to say, hey, we're doing right now this. Hey, we're doing a mini summit in May. Are you interested? Do you want to do it? It's about the topic of. And give them some details, obviously, and make sure it happens. In many cases, potential network partners may say, well, no, I've got something going on that week, but that's okay. They know that you are doing product launches. They know you're doing podcasts. They know you're doing mini summits. They can always say, hey, I'm not busy this month. How about we do something together then? You should then be able to point to your future calendar or something else they may participate in. So, believe it or not, your calendar obviously is very important to your network. So you've got to get developing that now. Even though it may not be something that you're doing today, you need to put mini summits in, maybe. Make sure you're doing your product offers. Maybe you'll do a podcast. Depends on who you are. Try not to make an unreasonable schedule of product offers for your time, because once you fail to be on schedule with your offers, once you mention something to someone in your network that you're having a mini summit in March, and when they come by in March and there's nothing there, you lose trust. You'll lose trust because from your subscribers who you mention it to. You'll lose trust from your collaborators, your affiliates and partners, because you haven't done what you said you've done. So you've always got to make sure you have this calendar on schedule, that's reasonable schedule, that you can do and you think you can manage every year, so that people can know what they can participate in if they decide they want to participate in what things you are doing. Whether it's them in your network wanting to be interviewed by you on that topic, being in a mini summit, being in a bundle, being in a giveaway, being in a podcast series, being in a blog post roundup. You always have to have something available that is something they can participate in. Because if they can't participate, if they can't get value out of participating in something with you in your network, whether it's getting revenue as an affiliate or getting some of your audience to their promotions because they did a weekly workshop with you and made an offer, you won't be, these people will just disappear. They're not, they have their own priorities. They have their own revenue they have to make. And so they have to consider, are you someone who's reliable? Do you have a calendar that you stick to? Do you have an audience? Do you have a weekly workshop and you show up every week or not? So yeah, you have to have all this sort of in place before you start, just because it needs to be something that people get attracted to, whether it's a training archive, whether it's your launch calendar, whether it's a mini summit calendar, whether it's your weekly workshop topics, whether it's your interview schedule for your podcast, whatever it might be. You have to have all this information available for your network so that if you do get someone from your Dream 100 who is interested and wants to be interviewed by you, you can do it and send them the schedule right away so they can see where they could fit it in their schedule. So yeah, this is something that you really have to plan ahead for, and it's something that most people don't start until they have a lot of business already. So why not start before you start and get your launch calendar together with your product topics every month and your weekly workshop topic. Get that all planned for the next 6 months and see how it goes. And do another 6 months. And get some outsourcing if you need to outsource. We've discussed that as well in the Content Factory, that you have to maybe get someone who can help. So this is basically how to build a massive network, and basically you're attracting them by your weekly workshop and your product offers and your content and your learning center and having a community. This will also attract a network of people to you, whether they're going to be subscribers, your audience, your affiliates, your collaborators, or your partners. Either way, their audience will build into your audience when you find the people who have your audience. So whoa, there you go. You can easily build your business if you do these 15 principles. So if you want to see some of the previous episodes, you can join the free trainings at http://jgtips.com/BYB free. And you can go into the Facebook group.com/groups./implement club. And depending on Facebook and whether or not it goes live, I have at least, hopefully, 56 trainings in there, if not anything else. And as well, if you get on the list, you will get a link to go into the membership, or we'll call it the training archive. Much better word. I'll have to put that down. Join for free trainings at the training archive at http://jgtips.com/BYB free. Or if you want to say that, this is where you go. It gets you to Implement Club, where you can sign up for the free, I should change that now to 64, was it, weeks training. You sign up and you get a link, and then you can get into the training archive. I've got to change the name of that. Gee, why didn't I think of that before? Instead of calling it a membership. Because it's all the free trainings, and then I'm going to be developing a new training based on Build Your Business, where each week there's implementation steps that you can do to start doing this. So now that I've done quite a few of the principles, next week we'll be looking at becoming a media mogul, and we'll go through and finish off the rest of these and do a summary mostly for the rest. And then after that, I'm going to build it as something that is actionable, as an implement. Because, well, if you don't know me, I'm Jane Gardner. I work with my husband in our structural engineering firm, and we've been very busy for the last 23 years. And we're in retirement age, would like to retire, so I thought I'd come out on and share some of my principles about business with you, as well as what I've learned from being on the internet. So that's why I'm developing this model, and I'm going to be doing this model, I promise. I promise I will do my Let's Get Visible. Let's Get Visible next week. And I'll send you my list, the link, and you can actually ask questions on that one. So see you next time. We'll be doing media. I might do a summary.